You know what? We all want love. But most of us don't want to date to get it because, let's be honest, dating kind of sucks. But I fully believe it doesn't have to if we actually know what we're doing. Hi, I'm Sabin, and this is Reinventing Dating, a smart and sweary podcast for all singles to learn the mindsets and skills to date with intention and confidence. Join me weekly as I break down the science and psychology behind what's working in our dating culture and what isn't. Every week, I'll bring a new topic, a trend, a skill, or mindset that can help us get out of our own way to learn how to date for relationships that we actually want. Because I fully believe and know that love isn't broken, but dating kind of is. So let's reinvent it together. Well, hello there, sugar pantses! I'm back. Now, in case you're new around these parts, if this is your first rodeo, I'm Sabin. I am a positive psychology practitioner. I'm a certified life coach for singles, and I have been digging in, researching, coaching, and even building my own relationship over the last 15 years. And that has left me with a lot of thoughts, with a lot of information, with a lot of knowledge that I want to share with every single person out there who is dating, wants a relationship, and then most importantly, wants love, which is kind of the whole point of a relationship. To have a person that we can do this thing called life with, because life is kind of hard and a little boring and not completely fun on your own. So I'm here to bring the science, the psychology, the skills, the mindsets, and everything that I have learned and teach them to you on this podcast, as well as through on-demand video workshops, one-on-one and group day-long intensives, retreat groups that I take around the world, as well as the completely comprehensive Reinventing Dating program. Because I've learned a lot of things over the last 15 years, and I want to help you because I believe the more we like each other, the more we know about how to date and create great relationships, the better relationships we'll have. And that's personally how I believe we can change the world. So come along on this adventure with me. And today we're starting with the foundation of why I'm reinventing dating, why I've changed my whole podcast, my whole brand, my whole website, my programs and everything to reinventing dating, and how we can start dating for the relationships that we actually want. So today I just want to share some truths that I have seen amongst my clients, amongst just kind of the single culture, the dating culture, that are not really helping us get love, get relationships, get what we need. And you might be beating yourself up over this. Maybe you're super frustrated. Maybe you're disappointed. Maybe you're looking around going, man, I thought this would happen for me by now. You know, all of my friends are in relationships. Maybe they're having kids or starting families, and you are feeling left behind. I know I was. I absolutely was. Just so you are aware, if you've just found me, I did not meet my now husband until I was 41 years old. I had never been married. I had barely had any long-term relationships. I was the queen of long-distance relationships because those felt safer and easier for me. And when Danny did show up in my life, I had to actually apply all the things that I knew and had been teaching to see if this worked. And it fucking does. It fucking does. I am now 9 years into this relationship where I wake up every single day loved for exactly who I am. We laugh, we share, we celebrate, we support each other. There's so much communication. There's so much honesty. There's so much kindness. And I want to get you that type of relationship, a partnership where both people contribute and everybody feels seen, heard, and loved every single day. That's the point. I will tell you this, I will never encourage you to date or get in a relationship if it doesn't feel like that. But that's not found, that's built. That's created by the two people who build it, and you are one half of that. So let's get on the same page. Here are the truths that I have seen in the last 15 years and why I am reinventing dating on this podcast. So truth number one is dating and relationships are completely different than 30, 40, 50 years ago. Am I right? If you think back to the 80s, if you think back to the 70s, the 60s, our expectations were different. Gender roles were different. Our parents, and especially our grandparents, weren't looking for the same kind of qualities in a partner that we are now. We now want beautiful, equal partnerships, but we have no idea how to make that happen. So we are out there kind of meeting each other on apps, swiping profiles, all of these things. But we ultimately have no idea how to date or what to look for to create these new partnerships that we want. Truth number two, you were probably not role modeled a healthy relationship by your parents or your caretakers. So you actually have no idea what a healthy relationship looks like and feels like. Do you know how hard it is to find something that you've never seen, that you've never felt, that you've never heard? Imagine that. Imagine that you are outside on a treasure hunt, but the list that you have been given is you don't know what it looks like, you haven't been told what it feels like, and you have no idea if what you find is actually a good match for you. Make that make sense for me, people. Make it make sense. You would never take on that treasure hunt because you'd be like, what am I looking for? Well, this is what I found out about a lot of singles that I talk to. They have maybe a list of things that they've heard their friends say or what they've seen on TV or in movies, but they don't actually know what a healthy relationship looks like and feels like specifically for them and how to build that with another imperfect person. Because it's not found, it's built. Number three, the truth is you grew up in a culture that values fantasy over reality, quick fixes over deep work, and happily ever afters over the truth of what it takes to be in a long-term relationship. I'm looking at you, Disney. I'm looking at everything that told us that relationships were easy, that told us that love at first sight existed, that told us the bullshit that you'll know it when you see it. None of this is true. These are all fantasy ideals. And honestly, they're more connected to trauma bonding or love bombing than they are to actual love. I know we don't like to hear this, but I'm not here to blow smoke up your ass. I'm here to actually get you love. And then more importantly, the dating and relationships that eventually get love take time, take energy. You will not know for a while. And what is really important is for you to know yourself well enough to be able to spot these qualities and characteristics that are a good match for you in real life. But when we've told that we'll just fall in love and know it when we see it, we don't think we have to do any of that work, that knowledge. And that is killing us. Number four, the truth is that we were raised, especially the women who listen to the podcast, to be independent. We were maybe the first generation where that was even possible. And from one independent woman to another, I love that for us. But here's what I've also noticed. that independence sometimes create walls. That independence has us stop asking for help or allowing help in our lives. That independence has maybe taught us that we don't need anyone. But the actual truth is love, community, and connection are humongous parts of thriving in our daily life. And that ultra interdependence, where we think we don't need anyone, that we might as well just do it all ourselves, that we can do it better than everyone, that's actually a trauma response. And it's not going to get you to love. Because here's what I know for truth number 5. If people don't know how to love you, if they don't know how to take care of us, if they don't know how to show up and be great in our lives, they will not stay. Love is the opposite of perfection. Love is how we take care of each other. Love is how, when we're struggling, the people in our lives and potentially an amazing partner shows up for us. And if we're so busy being independent, not needing anyone, taking care of ourselves, afraid to ask for help, the more and more we do that, the more we push love away from us. And finally, truth number 6, nobody, I repeat, nobody, except for my clients maybe, know what they're doing out there. Everybody's footing is off right now. People don't know who should ask out who should pay, what we should say, if we should kiss at the end of a first date or not, if we should hold hands. We don't know what we're doing. And we're kind of in this mass confusion right now of what's appropriate, what's not. And ultimately, we're all like the blind leading the fucking blind out there. And we crazily think the other person knows what they're doing. And I can promise you, they don't. So it is our job to know who we are and how we work. It's our job to know what we need and what we like. It's our job to figure out what we feel is appropriate on a date and what we don't. And it's our job to teach the people that we meet, that we date, and that we're creating relationships with how to treat us so we feel good. And for us to learn that about them. Because of course, if we're all confused, if we don't know what we're doing, if we're scared of getting hurt, if we're waiting for the other shoe to drop, if we're glomming onto somebody because we're afraid that if we don't take this, nobody else will come along. By the way, that's called fear of scarcity. And I'm going to teach you why, particularly women, have such a deep ass fear of scarcity in dating in a few weeks here. But we're far enough along in this world of 2023 where we virtually have self-driving cars at this point. But yet, if I were to walk up to the average single on the street and say, tell me what you need for a relationship to feel good, they probably can't answer me. That's a problem. But it's a problem that we can solve, and I'm going to help you solve it. All right, guys, that is it for today. I will be back next week, ready to dig in about what is love. I am going to be going back to basics for these first couple episodes so that we are all on the same page of what we're looking for and how to get it. If you liked this, if you're excited about it, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any of this awesomeness again. All right, guys, thank you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being part of my world. I appreciate the fuck out of you. And I'm so thankful every single one of you. Until next week, meet love halfway.